if you don't know how to turn it on, I don't know how to turn it on.
I don't know.
Okay, we forgot.
Okay, so we'll call this a subcommittee meeting to order. And what I wanted to first do,
Yeah.
we'll find out, we know nothing about our other participant, is
I
that
even,
right?
I told you, I sent her even her emails.
Yeah, and I sent her a couple of texts or emails and never heard anything. And she wasn't at the meeting the other night, so we don't know whether she's,
I think Thursday night we bring it up.
okay.
And if we want to have 3 people, again, then John is perfect. He's a financial guy. If we don't, you and I can just get it done, because
Yeah.
I've learned a lot in the last couple of days.
Okay, well, okay, here's what I wanted to do. First, I wanted to get a sense of agreement as to what our task is here.
Yeah.
So, as I understood it, the question sort of came up relative to primarily town meetings, and are people informed sufficiently to make proper decisions? And maybe we should consider inserting in the charter a provision or provisions that address that by proposing that we require that certain steps be taken or certain information be provided or something. That's basically the task of this committee, right? To look at what's in the charter language currently that affects what material is provided relative to the budget and other costs incurred at the town meeting for the town meeting membership.
Our understanding is close. What I heard as our task was basically to take some of the things that the finance committee brought forward, which was letting townspeople better understand the financials. So there's 2 lines of thinking on that. And I don't think we have to take it to the charter, because I think that's not our mission. Our mission is, what do people want to see, and how can we use the charter to maybe get some of that accomplished. So one line of thinking, which is the town is now following, is you take our present financial package and you do graphs and charts to explain what's there. I don't think that's our mission. I think our mission is this. What's it mean? That's what people, and that's I think what our mission is. So you got a 8% increase this year, basically being asked for, or 5% over the levy. What does that really mean? It's $4 million, $5 million, but what's that mean to me? Mm-hmm. That's, I think, what our task is. Is that what people want? And how do we get that in a language that would work? So, a clarity here. This is what I wrote up, just so you could have something.
Yeah.
So what does it mean when we spend money? When you do an article, and this is what the finance committee said, okay, there's an article that we spend $20 million, and that's for road work. But I understand that it's for road work, but what does it mean tax-wise to me? I think that's something.
Well, it's a consideration,
right,
yes.
Right, but it doesn't have to be in the financials. In order for this to work, it has to be outside the financials. So it is a preface. It's not part of the actual document because it can have projections and so forth. Therefore, before town meeting, I get a little booklet, or it's part of the booklet, that any resident can go in and say, oh, our town budget this year is $80 million.
Okay, but let me interrupt. To have that booklet available is or is not, in your view, a provision for the charter?
No.
It's not. So why do we waste our time thinking about what should be in that booklet?
Because what should be in the charter is a statement saying that that needs to be provided to the
Okay,
people.
so let's start with that point. So we want some minimal language that refers to that provision. Now,
Clear and
concise.
understandable information regarding town expenditures.
Yeah, okay. And I had come up with something
Good.
as well for the capital outlay committee.
Yep.
That same language. But what I want to do is, I guess, to kind of make sure we make progress here, and I think we can spend a lot of time talking about philosophy and...
No, I think we can drive.
So I went through the charter here, and I identified 10 maybe or so, 8 or 10 sections of the existing charter that kind of deal with, and some of them I think were referenced by the Finance Committee when they were
What page are you
before
on?
us. But that reference certain roles, responsibilities, etc. Language, at least, that refers to the financial matters. And what I was hoping to do would be to go to our full committee and present, as the Finance Committee did, or as the Capital Outlay Committee has done, specific language that says, we would like to see section 2.6 state this, or 2 point whatever it is. In other words, to modify, because the current thinking is that at this point, the charter doesn't contain the language sufficient to accomplish what you want, does it? Or is that a...
Here's the problem with that. I agree, that would work 100%. Agree with you. The problem is, legally, you can't make projections as part of your financials. That's the problem we face.
Well, but we're not going to be making the projections,
But
and
we're-
we're not going to even advocate or
But if-
at least promote that there be the projections. We're going
Well,
to...
but one of the main discussions of the Finance Committee was that we need to look 10 years out into the future. That's what they said. That's a projection. You can't, if you put that in the financials, that they have to make that projection.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's,
But I don't think we want to get into that level of detail that
no, I don't either, but
occurs.
not from a charter
Right.
language. Not from a charter language.
Right.
But from a practical citizens language, yes.
Well, let somebody in the know determine.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why I think clarity is important. I also think a little push. All I care about is this, that people can understand what it means to them. So anything we can do in the charter that helps people understand that when
Okay.
they raise their hand, it means money.
Well, two things, I guess. One is, I was provided, but I have since erased it from my computer, and I've been
Nice.
asked for the issue to be resent so I could have some. But the administrator's office did send along to me the packet that we had talked
Yep.
about informally the
Yep,
other day.
I got it.
You got it. Somehow I lost.
You sent it, I think.
No, did I send it to you before
Yeah, I think so.
lost it?
Yep.
I don't know. But anyway, I lost it. I've lost a lot of things, but I've lost it. The second, so anyway, to know what was in that and to potentially use some excerpts from that or to point towards certain things as the type of thing that might be, is maybe helpful. But I'd like to go back to the thing I mentioned earlier, which is to try to see here, is there already sufficient language that would accomplish what we
page are you
want? Or if there isn't, is there language that we can insert? And I think if we get out of this subcommittee the specific guidance, so we don't go into and sort of just throw it on the table and open it up to hours and hours of back and forth and so forth, this one offering this one,
Yep.
but rather react to a specific text to me, that's what I would prefer with all of the stuff that we deal with in the commission, is
Yep.
to actually narrow it down to how would we like to see this worded and where could we see it so worded. So if you'll allow, I would go through these things and just see if there's things in here that kind of either require that aren't being accomplished, or maybe with a little twist in the phraseology would allow it to be broad enough to accomplish what we want to accomplish. For example, I don't know if you have a charter with you, right?
Yeah, which page?
Okay, so if we go to 2.6, that's the first references. We started with 1.1. If we go to 2.6,
I don't have it with me. 2.6. I was working at it at home. I took those pages out.
yeah,
But go ahead.
well, in 2.6, under the simplified rules of procedure, I just highlighted this because, in fact, this is somewhat evident of what was done over the last period, I would say maybe the last 10 years or so, in which they've tried to educate the town meeting membership on certain procedures to follow, certain information that they may be helpful to them in better understanding the process. And this section 6 is one of those provisions which says the rules of parliamentary procedure in simplified form shall be prepared by the moderator and be included in the town meeting warrants prepared for distribution to town voters. Now, that was never done before, not when I was the moderator or for a long time since my successor has been the moderator. But it is done now. And it shows how, and allegedly people have the ability to determine, let's see, what percentage do I need to reconsider this matter or call the question or whatever.
Just wait till the end of the meeting and bring it up again.
Correct. But not everybody is savvy on some of it. So anyway, this is an example of what I'm referring to here, in which we have identified a gap and attempted to address it, in this case here, by the rules of the town meeting conduct of the session. Rules of parliamentary procedure. Now, we could put in here 2.6.2 and say the simplified rules of procedure, but add add another section 8 or 7.6 or whatever, and address what would be a matter for the chapter 2, by the way, covers town meetings, and what would be another section that we could put in here to address what we're here for, to basically require that there be some booklet, some evidence of instructional detail that would assist the members at town meeting in their better understanding of the issues before them. The same way that other things here have been addressed in terms of the town meeting process. So that's one way to do it. Could we put in a section, the last section that's here that's identified, but I was thinking of maybe even making it, because some of these deal with town meeting, but they don't deal with provisions in town meeting that specifically call upon
Yeah,
the town.
that's a good place for it because it's outside. It's rules of operation. It's procedure. It would work
Right.
there, and yeah,
Yeah, so maybe even 2.6.2.
correct. That
And
would
then
work.
in addition,
Right.
so that, what I'd like us to consider is there some text? So we have some text that you've drafted, and I've
Yep.
drafted for the Capital Outlay Committee, that kind of in this same
Would fit.
level of detail, which is maybe needs to be enhanced somewhat, or maybe it's sufficient, but at least in a simplified statement, accomplishes maybe not all we want to get done, but it accomplishes the step of creating, in the same way we've created this rules summary,
Yep.
the first step toward accomplishing. And so this would be a possible place to introduce the topic, right?
But you know what? It's perfect, because all we have to say there
Yeah.
to bring all this about is something, and again, it has to be
Well,
rewritten.
let's get that language that you
there's
and I
more.
have done.
Yeah, and there's more.
Where is that in here?
No.
No.
Yes, it is, on purpose. Look at the second part. And then take
Purpose of this section is
take
to
that part
ensure-
out.
Okay, oh, here, requirement. Town shall provide in connection with each annual and special town meeting warrant, a non-binding financial and taxpayer impact summary for informational purposes. Right on.
Ah, yes, it's what we want
So,
there.
now let me get the one I had.
See, it's not as hard as it
Is
sounds.
it anything that I had that is worth, I would suppose, not even sure I have it. Yeah, this is for later on, okay, so let's take this language and unless there's further discussion
No,
by
I
the
think it's
committee.
perfect. I think it's perfect.
That's perfect. So we'll make this the recommendation of the subcommittee. I'll work up some minutes to this effect. And we'll insert this as 2.6.2.
We need to define.
Can we,
Now let's find a place we can define it.
probably
just a
want to
little
rename, how about if we rename section 6 from simplified rules of procedure to include both rules of procedure, but also to require this statement. And unless we want to consider it as a rule of procedure, but it's really not a rule of procedure.
let's put some language in there.
Simplified, maybe just simplified rules as a possibility. We name section 6, simplified rules for town meeting. And 2.6.1 would be having a parliamentary procedure spelled out.
2.6.2 is this.
2.6.2 would be have the financial issues sort of addressed here.
Now I'm going to ask you to
Wait a
read
minute,
those
the
4 points.
non-binding, I didn't catch this. The town shall provide in connection with each annual and special town meeting warrant a non-binding financial taxpayer. Why do we have the word non-binding?
Because if you make it binding, it's going to be interpreted as this is what it is. If you make it non-binding,
What differentiates non-binding in the context of the material we're presenting? It's
well,
not
we
like
don't know what we're
presenting as an
presenting.
article.
We don't know what we're.
But
No.
the general sense is that it's going to be graphs or figures or something of that nature, right? It's not going to
Not
be a
necessarily.
narrative thing. I mean,
Here's the problem. It's hard to think for somebody else and what they would do. For me if I were in a position where I were the town administrator and I were bringing something forward, it would be examples. Town warrant 3.25, dealing with this. We need $6 million. That's going to cost each taxpayer, if approved, 32 cents on their tax bill. That's what the meanings of the financial. Now, if that should change, then you've given misinformation if it's specific. If it's general, I have the opportunity to say, well,
but that's for the folks that are preparing the.
well, that's okay. I'm just wanted to make sure it was
I think it's a confusing
Then let's take it
word.
out. I don't have,
Yeah.
again,
I think so. The town should provide in connection with each annual and special town meeting warrant a financial and taxpayer impact summary, maybe a concise or seems to me like we even had somewhere in here sort of simplified.
yeah, but you know what? We can take out, no, because see, simplified to me has a problem.
Simplified's a problem.
Yeah, because here's why.
Not here. Oh, both places.
Just here. Here's
Yeah.
why.
I don't like simplified, but
Yeah,
I mean,
the town administrator is going to interpret that as taking what he has and making it dumber.
dumbed down.
He needs to go outside of that document to
Yeah.
give what we want.
Do we want to say concise?
I don't think we need to say any of that.
Okay.
I think we leave that, that's up to the
Okay,
town
so
administrator.
it shall provide a financial and taxpayer impact summary for
Period.
informational purposes.
Or it doesn't even have for
De
informational
facto.
period.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, so,
Now, wait, legally for informational purposes, you're a lawyer, what does that mean? How does that impact?
what are we saying legal?
No, from your perspective.
Oh.
From a legal perspective, is saying for informational purposes important?
Shall provide a financial and taxpayer impact,
That way it's not
Impacts.
guiding the vote. That's the whole thing.
yeah.
I think it needs to be in there.
I think it's legal in terms of my sense of it, but it certainly is open to interpretation. Because what is the level of summary that you're asking to be shown?
Yeah.
That hopefully will either be addressed by us
Yep.
in further language here, or it would be left to the determination of the provider,
But we can deal
mainly
with
the Department of Finance.
Yeah,
here.
but we can deal with that on
Yeah,
a very
I
broad
think so,
basis.
right.
I think we should leave for informational purposes, at least for the time being.
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing we really have to do beyond that, in my mind, is put 3 bullet points or 4 bullet points. Big bullet points. Watch.
We're talking about adding
So-
on to this language or in a
Or
different
putting it
section?
somewhere, it's up to you to decide. I'm terrible at that.
I'd like to keep it basically the same bare bones that I hear.
Okay, fair enough. Let's look where we
Right.
can put it though, because,
But you're talking about itemizing certain things that must be included in this
never the
document?
word must.
Well,
we wa-
shall then,
Well, could be,
may,
because we're leaving it up to
the treasurer.
do it. But we want to give a little guidance. That's all. You have all the flexibility, but consider this.
Are we thinking it's appropriate for that level of detail for the charter?
Yeah, well, let's,
I thought we were kind
Well,
of
that's
trying
why-
to get out of trying to
but let's look at the detail.
orchestrate
Yeah,
the-
I know, we are. Let's try to look at the detail though. Identification of warrant articles with a financial impact? That's not
Okay,
detailed.
well, okay, so for the present, let's say this is what we're buying into.
Right.
Okay, now, let's figure out if there's some place in here where there's an appropriate place for inserting some sort of broader text language. Looking at this broader language, or inclusive, let's
Right.
say, language, the summary shall, to the extent practicable, include identification of warrant articles with the financial impact. I mean, I don't know if you want my 2 cents on this stuff,
Sure.
but we already know what articles have a financial impact, don't we? Because the Finance Committee is acting on every article. It used to be that they were required to act on budget or financial related. Now, that's no longer the case. This language allows the Finance Committee and requires them to comment on every article. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I do. I do. And again, I'm outside of what they do. I'm perfectly in line with what they do. Where I am is progress is one step at a time. I'm trying to go one step above what they do.
Well, that's how I want to go, too.
Yep.
One
So
step.
if you identify, and this is why I put that in there.
Small step for
Identify.
mankind.
Yes. One big step for Paul.
That's it.
If we identify a warrant article with financial impacts, that's addressing. Gee, we want you that when it has a financial impact, that you're explaining it to the public. That's why I was thinking about it.
Who's you?
That's our
Finance
treasurer.
director?
Yeah. Okay. It's given the guidance that says,
Okay,
hey,
let's put
That's
this
an
in
easy one.
abeyance
That's
for
an easy
right
one,
now.
right.
We'll come to it when we
Fair enough.
identify
Fair
a
enough.
place to
Fair
insert it,
enough.
right? Okay.
but you don't have to insert it.
Well, think about inserting.
Okay.
Identification of warrant articles with financial impact. My only point of commenting on this was that
It's done already.
It's already done.
Okay.
But I just
Then
want
let's
to
take it
find
up.
out. Let's find out. No, let me find out where it is. I remember reading it here on the Finance Committee section somewhere, because they even brought up, I think we should comment on all when they were here. And there seemed to be the belief that all that they were really required to do was to act on only articles in which there was a financial impact. I almost think to try to bifurcate those two issues is more involved than it seems, because there could be financial impacts on stuff that isn't an immediate matter of expenditure or a cost or some sort of measurement financially. You could have some article in the town meeting, right, that would potentially trigger action down the line that may have a financial impact.
Then read 1 and 2 together.
The estimated total cost of such expenditures, including any associated debt service. Yeah, okay. So,
So that defines it. That was why.
yeah, that defines it. I agree. Let me just find, where did I put those crazy?
I was actually working before I got here, okay?
I want to try to find where I said the things that we should try to. Well, I'm gonna find it before we complete this meeting today, but I can't find it right here.
Clock is moving. It's almost 3:30. My eyes are bad.
Yeah. It's not there. Gotta be here. Upon further review, capital town meeting action, capital and conjunction hearings and findings, recommendation for improvement. Okay, well, I won't take any more time.
You know what
I'll
I'm
have to
saying?
go back and check my comments in another time. My point being that I put together in my conversations with the Finance Committee member, who was also on the
Yep.
capital outlay, a list of, and the town administrator provided for us that detail, which had never been done before, addressing how things are going to be financed. Anyway, estimated cost, so, yeah, let's just assume, yeah, I agree, any associated debt service, estimated total cost of such expenditures.
That could be broken down into one sentence or two, all these 4 points.
Estimated impact on individual taxpayers. Yeah, it seems like it's already been done. But anyway, I
Okay.
agree.
This
Let's
needs-
find out where we can put that,
This needs wordsmithing first, a lot of it.
because I'm going to go crazy trying to find.
Can I do
Okay.
that?
So let's just go back to what we were doing here and move through this. The next
Okay.
time I see a provision that deals with kind of what the area we're talking about is in Chapter 4, which deals with the powers and responsibilities of the town administrator. And in 4.3.2, there's a series of steps here where the town administrator will prepare, in consultation with the capital outlay committee, the capital plan. So this is provision 4.3.2, subsection C. And this is where I did rewrite it. I'm going to try to find it. So but in this section, I thought
This belongs-
maybe we could let me ask this. Is there any thought of having the town administrator sort of be responsible, or make it be the finance department?
Town administrator,
Yeah.
at all times.
So,
But, is there a section in there, I wish I had it with me, where the town administrator and the finance committee, because those are the two that should be focusing in on this.
yes, there is. I mean, there's a
Okay.
provision that both, well, the town administrator in terms of the select board. No. I think the only provisions in here say that the town administrator will work with the capital outlay committee, and that output from the capital outlay committee is then presented by the town administrator to the select board and to the finance committee, and they shall each have separate hearings on that matter by the select board and by the administrator. That's what's
But
currently.
we can add a sentence under there that says that the town administrator will work with the finance committee to bring about the small sentence of the procedures here. Could that be done?
As opposed to the select board, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. So you don't have this section with you?
Which page? I started page 4, unfortunately. is where-
C7, this is C7.
Oh, I got it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go through these and find that provision. C6 starts with the town administrator at the bottom, but it's basically starting C7. Okay. Down here, subsection C under 4.3.2 calls for the capital outlay plan in consultation with the capital outlay committee. And that's the one that has been rewritten. Okay, now.
So if there was a C-1, it would be perfect.
Where we got?
If we were to, under your development annual.
Yeah, put it in there.
Underneath, yes.
be responsible for seeing, you're talking about Delta.
Yep.
Be responsible for seeing that the budget is administered and expended as adopted by the town meeting in accordance with the general laws, this charter and bylaws. But that doesn't really have to do with, this is post-town meeting.
And that's
That he should be responsible to make sure that if we're spending $80 for this.
In the first part, we said that this is part of town meeting. The first thing we did said this.
Yeah, back
okay,
in 2.
it says it has to happen. Now we're at you, Mr. Town Administrator. If this was, let's take out C and D. Just take out C and D. And
Yeah.
let's put a new C. If we put a new C in there and move our present C to D and E, okay? Now, if we put in here that the town administrator will work with the finance committee to produce a,
Okay, let me get that thing. Maybe it's over here under the finance committee, because he definitely is integrating his efforts. Section 9, by the way, deals with the finance committee. Yeah, here we go. Under section 3, well, all this 9.2.5, see all of this stuff in here, 923, 924, 925, 926, all of this is kind of the part and parcel of kind of the meat and guts of what we're talking about here. 9.2.4 seems to start the ball rolling. On or before the second Tuesday of February,
page
the
are you
town
on
administration shall submit C-24.
you jumped. Need to get new fingers here. Okay.
This whole section from sort of 924, 9 down to 93, although I've got here we should omit 932.
Yeah, but look at 925.
925, the budget message shall explain the budget both in fiscal terms and terms of what specific projects are contemplated in the year ahead. Outline the financial policies of the town. Do we have those? Financial policies?
Yeah, well, yeah, somewhere. It's like
describe the important features of the budget.
Stop. It's like the code of conduct. It's somewhere.
I like the code of conduct, by the way.
I got voted down.
You got voted down?
Here's what I got. Instead of having a code of conduct where the select board put it together, they're responsible to make sure it's in the employee handbook. It's buried. That was the middle ground.
The view was that it's not appropriate for the charter to have that definition of it?
It wasn't appropriate because we already have a code of conduct. We don't want to have it redone and to say that the select board is responsible for doing it themselves. So we just want to put it in the book and to say it's in the book. Whereas I wanted to say, you're going to use it.
Yeah.
So I got.
Or at least acknowledge.
The minute you put it up front, it has meaning.
Right.
The way it is right now, it's just like yeah, we got it. Check.
Is there a code of conduct in the committee book right now?
Yeah.
And was that at all in your parlance, in your preparation of, no?
Put it this way. It's what Linda and Sandy look at as glittering generalities. Nice words with no meaning. You can write a code of conduct with meaning. I use the word hammer. They don't like the word hammer. But yeah, you can do that. And they couldn't get it done.
Did anybody compare the language
Yeah, I did it a sample.
Okay.
I sent it out. I did a sample. Here's what I did.
So they took a vote at the meeting last
And
time?
no vote, but it was,
A
consensus.
consensus. Tired of this
So
consensus.
I can do this. I can get somebody to bring it up and write a letter, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not.
Okay.
It's important. Put it this way. It's it's important, but not crucial. How's that? It's nothing I want to die for. It's something that. Oh, by the way, you know what? Noreen, do you know her? She's on.
Donahue, yeah.
She sent me a little email
Yeah.
saying, "I'm going away. I watch your meetings. I want you to know that you got a lot of people supporting you." I was so thrilled. I've never gotten anything like that. I thought I was going to
Noreen's a good person. She's
get
nice.
get the hell off that committee.
Yeah.
Okay, here. So
Okay.
we might fit in here in 9.25.
925, the budget shall explain the budget both in fiscal terms and in terms
Or
of what
9.267.
specific projects are contemplated in the year ahead, shall outline the proposed financial policies of the
Yes,
town. That's
right
what
there.
we have, just
Right there.
describe the important features of the budget, indicate major changes. Now, there is a budget message that is provided currently.
So we want a 9.27.
To address this,
It fits in there perfectly.
but
Because that's what you're saying.
they'll provide a comprehensive budget for all town functions under 924 for the ensuing year and shall submit to the selectmen a budget message. Town administrator, do we want to say in conjunction with
Yes,
the
absolutely.
finance committee?
Yes. Now we're back to how do you get these guys to work together?
Town administrator in conjunction with the finance committee. So let's just take a stab at this. 924. Town administrator shall submit to the select board a comprehensive, I know people have questioned what is meant in terms of, and I don't know whether that's going to be a defined word in our definition group. I know the question has come up, though, what constitutes a comprehensive budget? Does it include
No, we don't need to worry about that. That's the beautiful part. We're not dealing with the actual budget. We're adding on to gain information. So our budget is
No, but
comprehensive.
just in terms of trying to smooth this out, do we want to leave that word in there, comprehensive? I mean, people.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, because what we have now as a budget actually works. What we have now works as a budget.
Yeah.
Just 99.9% of the people don't understand it.
Yeah. A select board a comprehensive budget for all town functions for the ensuing fiscal year and shall submit to the selectmen, should be Board of Select Board, right?
Right.
A budget message. So, we want to just insert then
I would insert a new,
Finance Committee?
a new section.
Yeah.
No,
A new section, not
Yeah.
in this section?
No, I would go right after 9.26. I would put 9.27 to say what you have to do is also provide a citizen-friendly preface or whatever that includes that. Boom. Something that simple. But I think it has to be separated, because if you don't
But when we're
separate it,
talking about the comprehensive budget, 9.2.4.
Yep.
I think I would prefer to at least refer to, and then maybe add a 927 that says
Yep.
what it would
Here's what
include.
we're trying to avoid, and this is the avoidance. Gee, if I just make this here a little clearer, I'll fulfill the charter. It's not, and that's just what's going on right now. They're trying to make the budget clearer. They're not going beyond the clearness stage, impact. So that word impact to the individual is what we're trying to do. Remember over Noreen, I think, actually was the one that said when she came, there's people that, Waystack has said it, there's people that will not, in future years, people aren't going to be able to afford their taxes here because of our debt. And so we need to know now.
Prospective debt.
Right, so we need to know now, in 5 years, gee, Mrs. Smith, you got to start planning because your taxes
Yeah.
are going to go up.
I'm just trying to
I-
kind of take advantage of the fact that in here is 924 is the provision to prepare a budget message. And all I'm saying is that in that area where we're required to prepare a budget message, to insert that the town administrator, in consultation with the finance committee, will, later on, you could have 927.
Yeah, okay.
That talks about.
Okay, I understand what you're doing, you're
Okay.
parsing.
I just think
That's fine.
to not put it here, it doesn't.
No, that's, again, you're better at this than I am, believe me.
Finance committee, so, add in consultation with, or you think that covers it in consultation with?
In conjunction.
Conjunction, what is conjunction?
Conjunction
Working
means-
together,
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to consulting with the finance committee.
Working together.
You like conjunction? I'm not.
Sure.
Gonna go to the
Did you ever
math
watch
of
that
that.
conjunction,
In
junction, whatever it was? How a bill becomes law? I'm doing it for yours.
With the finance committee shall submit. Okay, so we'll add that language
Yep.
on 924. Then 925, the budget message shall explain. This now proceeds to tell what's going to be in that budget message, both in fiscal terms and in terms of what specific projects are contemplated in the year ahead. It shall outline the proposed financial policies of the town, describe the important features of the budget, indicate any major changes in financial policies, expenditures, and revenues, together with reasons for such change, summarize the town's debt position, and include other material the town administrator may consider appropriate. So this is sort of a generalization. It's not a, I don't get out of here this language anyway. I don't get out of this language that it's specific, but it addresses 4 or 5 steps here in a general way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So steps to include.
What's left out of there is things like the debt that we have by employee debt. It's not really considered debt. The
Or the health
pension
care,
pension fund,
pension funds,
That's not-
and health.
because that's not considered debt, but it's still debt in my mind. And it isn't debt because you have an income stream to make up for it.
Right.
So what that requires is that I tell you what our debt is. So our present debt is $40 million. Based on what we're anticipating through the capital plan and so forth, in the next 10 years, it's expected to be $150 million. Now, what does that mean? See, that's when I get to the point that somebody says 100 million or 50 million, all I know is right now, the town has me on a credit card. I owe $3,290 of town debt. If I were to pay my portion, that means something to me.
Yeah.
You owe $5,000. I told them to up
Yeah.
yours.
My wife.
I said, cut mine a little bit. So how do we get that in there?
Okay, but I don't think it belongs here.
That's okay.
Only because this seems to be more of, in my view, a generalization. Outline, describe important features, indicate major changes. It's all
It's a
done
listing
in sort of overview
It's
language.
a listing of the headers
Right.
that's all
Yeah.
it is. The headers
Right.
on the budget.
Now, so in general sense, that's what the budget will contain. But the budget shall provide a complete, the budget message, see, there's a difference here, but in my view, quick reading here,
See-
but the budget message and the budget are not the same item.
No, they're not.
Right? So the budget message shall explain the budget. Now we're talking about the budget, which is a subset of the issue here.
Right.
Right? The budget shall provide a complete financial plan for all town funds and activities and shall be in the format that the Finance Committee may suggest.
Now you get into a problem. Keep going.
If the format suggested is compatible with commonly accepted standards of municipal budgeting, provided it is. The budget shall indicate proposed expenditures of both operations and capital projects during the ensuing fiscal year, detailed by divisions, departments, support offices, and town agencies. Okay, now, we don't have the budget shall provide a complete financial plan for the budget shall be a complete financial plan for all its I was just trying to sort of see whether the 925 language is a general summary of key points. 926 says that the budget shall provide a complete plan. Is the budget as detailed? We've said the budget message and the budget aren't the same.
That's right.
Two different things.
That's right.
Is the budget and the financial plan two different things? The budget shall provide a complete financial,
No.
or should we say the budget shall be rather than provide?
Yeah, the financial plan.
So if that's the case, the budget shall be a complete financial plan for all town funds and activities. Let's say, shall be the complete plan for all town funds and activities, and shall be in the format that the Finance Committee may suggest, provided it be in commonly accepted standards. To me, I guess that makes it clarifies, because otherwise, I think if you pass all these words, it gets a little.
It gets dicey.
Yeah. The budget shall, and now here we have sort of what it shall indicate. The budget, not the message. The budget shall indicate proposed expenditures for both current operations and capital projects during the ensuing fiscal year, detailed by divisions, department heads. Okay. So, I think that clarifies a little bit better than the current language on what we're doing here.
Right.
Town administrator, in consultation or in conjunction with the finance committee, prepares a budget message No. The budget. There's an issue here.
Yeah, there is. It's
The budget, if the budget message is being provided by the select board, right? Hang
Yep.
on one second. Let me just go back here. Financial provisions. Boy, this is. The budget message shall, on the Tuesday of February, second Tuesday, the town administrator shall submit to the select board a comprehensive budget for all town functions, and shall submit to the selectmen a budget message. Okay, well, let's get this straight here. So, we have the town administrator.
Mm-hmm.
He prepares.
The budget and the message.
I don't know if he prepares the budget message. It shall submit a budget, prepares a budget, sends it to the selectmen, a board.
See, here's where we're.
And shall submit to the selectmen a budget message.
Right.
Okay, prepares the budget and a budget, I'll agree, although it doesn't really say. The town administrator,
Well, if he's preparing the budget, who's going to prepare the message?
but again, is the sense here that they're two different things. There's the message.
Right.
And there's the budget,
Right.
right? Shall submit, so do you think it helps to insert the town administrator shall submit let's call it a draft message?
No, I don't think we
No.
need to do that. We're getting too detailed.
Okay.
We said leave that
Shall
alone.
submit to the select board a comprehensive budget
Right.
for all town functions for the ensuing year, and shall submit to the selectmen a budget message. So I guess effectively,
Yep.
that's right. So he has two tasks. He prepares a budget
Right,
and a budget message,
right.
and provides those to the select board.
Right. And the finance committee at the same time.
No,
That's what we
Yeah.
decided
no,
in our language change.
wait a minute. The budget, oh, that's right, in the finance committee, you're right.
Huh?
Yeah,
That's two I got today.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, in the finance committee, inserting this, shall submit to the select board and the finance committee.
Correct.
Budget message to the select board and the finance committee. Okay. 924. Okay, the budget message shall explain, I think that one's okay.
Yep.
26, the budget shall be the complete financial plan for all town funds and activities, and shall be in the format that the finance committee may suggest. This is sort of,
This is just follow the rules, the state rules on preparing a budget. That's all that is.
but why do we say in the format that the finance committee may suggest? Why don't we just say in the format compatible with commonly accepted practices?
That's even better.
I mean,
Commonly accepted standards or practices, yeah.
So
You don't even have to
we
say
just are
municipal
saying the
budget.
plan has got to be in accord with the procedures, the
Right.
proper accounting
Right,
procedures.
why do you have municipal budgeting? That's what you use, by law.
But inserting the finance committee here is just kind of confusing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So the budget shall be the financial plan for all towns and shall be in a format, forget that the finance committee, and forget if the format suggested is, shall be in the format compatible with commonly accepted standards of municipal budgeting,
Yep,
okay?
that works.
The budget shall indicate proposed expenditures for both current operations and capital projects during the ensuing fiscal year. Okay, so the rest of that's okay. Now, we're thinking about putting in 9.2.7, right?
Right, if it fits there, and I think it does.
Yeah. So 9.2.7 would be, let's say in addition,
For informational purposes.
I was going to say, let me just, in addition, the town administrator for
Informational.
purposes. Informational purposes to whom?
To the public,
So how about saying for public information?
or public consumption, yeah.
Information purposes. Maybe for the public information purposes. Shall, in addition, the town administrator, for the public information purpose, for public information purposes, shall
To the extent practical.
you want to pick up this language here,
Yep.
the summary,
Yep.
shall
Well, not the-
provide a summary?
This summary shall, to the extent practical, is important, because that way nobody can say you can't do it. Well, you can't do that, but you can do this. And this is what it should include.
Shall provide to the extent practicable, practicable or practical? Practicable?
Just
What
put
is the
practical
right-
for the time being,
practical,
please.
right?
Practical for the time being.
Right. To the extent practical.
Actually, I think practicable is a word. Practicable.
Yeah,
Prac-
maybe
That's
it
a word,
is, yeah.
yeah. I believe
I
so.
guess it's better than
Yeah.
practical.
To the extent
Practical.
practical,
As practicable,
include,
shall include,
and I think these are the points, but I don't like the way I wrote them. How's that sound?
what was that?
These are the points, but I don't like the way I wrote them.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll try to clean them up.
all right.
In addition, the town administrator, for public information purposes, shall provide to the extent practicable a summary I don't know about that. Are we talking about, this is to differentiate from the message, or differentiate from the budget,
Yes,
okay? Shall the, shall provide to the extent practicable a summary. What? Summary statement, summary, just a summary report, a summary?
I think a summary report.
Summary report, let's stick in report to begin with. To include a summary report, prepare, to the extent practical, a summary report. What is the report intended to do? To inform the public, right?
Yep.
Public informational purposes. Is it specific to the town meeting or not? Is it connected, is it
Yes.
tied directly to the
Yes.
town meeting?
Yes, I would say we need to put something in there like to be given at least 21 days before town meeting.
Mhm. For public information purposes, do we want to say related? Let me just pass out, related to the pending or ensuing or a town meeting.
I don't think we need to put that in there.
No?
No, I think we're going too deep. 'Cause I think we're saying, you're doing this, this, and this, and it follows you do the same thing.
So this has, so it doesn't really have anything specific to the town meeting,
It's specific, that's right, that's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
it's a general
That's right.
information. It's
Right.
not like a
You're
handout
not
at
gonna-
the town
no,
meeting.
you're not gonna vote on it.
Right.
You're not gonna use it, you're gonna use
And
it
it may
to,
not even apply to people who go and vote, who don't,
that's,
you know,
it's
just for
informational.
the town.
That's right.
Okay.
It may cause people to go to town meeting.
Yeah, so we don't need to tie it.
No.
I guess that was my
Okay.
point. Okay. So, shall we, to a summary report, is it better to put in,
Summary report to be
for
given
the
to the,
benefit of the public?
Yeah.
Or for the,
yeah, because that's the same as informational purpose. Let's put it in there for the time being. Then, once we type it up, we can wordsmith it then, I think.
okay, all right. To include, and then we'll go ahead. Identification of warrant articles. Well, it's identifying,
You have to read
I mean,
1 and 2
I
together.
don't know, 1 and 2, we don't, do we
Yeah,
need?
you have to
We
put
need
it
them
together.
both?
It should be 1. 1 and 2 need to be combined.
Identification of warrant articles with the financial impact and the estimated total cost of such expenditures, including any associated debt service.
We could make one sentence that says the essential total cost of such, the estimated total costs of warrant articles that have a financial impact, including any associated debt service.
And how does this differentiate from requiring a finance committee? So, yeah, okay. So
1 and 4, you have
I got
to,
it.
1
Yeah,
and
yeah,
4 are
yeah.
one sentence. See, when you try to dissect them, it doesn't work.
Okay. Summary report to include 1, identifying
I'll tell you what,
all warrant articles
I'll tell you what,
having financial impact.
yep. And we need to add a sentence to number 4, because if not, it's
Wait a
not
minute.
clear.
What did you say?
We need to add to 4,
Oh, well,
town and its taxpayers on an individual basis.
okay, but let me see about 1 here. For identifying all warrant articles having financial impact,
Yep.
including the estimated and how does this are you differentiating between what it says in the motion or proposed motion? We're going to, because even like on the historic district thing, it says underneath is a total cost $5,000. Is that number different than the total cost?
The number should be the same, but here's
I mean, what else, what is?
Here's the intent, and then maybe that'll help.
This is
clarify.
already, I guess my question is this, isn't this already provided?
Everything is provided. The trouble is how you interpret what's provided. So think of it as you have a book in front of you. The first thing you do is you read the preface. What does that do? That tells you what's
coming.
in it.
Yeah.
That's what this, in an easy to understand way, says this is what's in the budget. And it's going to be important because this is what it means to you. That's what I.
But is it not it's not going Article 8,
No,
5,000,
no,
Article
no,
10?
that is not, no.
Well, that's what I think I was saying here.
Well, then let's change it, 'cause that's not what we want. We don't want a double budget. We want 3 or 4 pages that say, let's see.
So is it
It's
the
almost a summary.
of all financial articles?
It's a summary of the meaning of all the, yes, it is.
So it takes like 17 articles and says the total cost of this is going to be $38 million and we're going to pay for it by this means, so we're
And-
going to incur this amount of debt to pay for it.
Right, and this debt will mean this to you.
So it's really almost just
It's an extension,
a
it's one
sentence.
step, yeah.
It's not any kind of list or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, we know.
Yeah. Well, then I think saying identify all water, we're not really identifying the articles that have financial impact. We're not identifying them. We're assigning a collective total
We're analyzing the cost, is what we're doing, of the
of
financial.
all financial
Yeah.
articles.
Yep.
But it's not, this to me, identify all warrant articles is saying, okay, warrant articles are 8, 9, 15, 22, 75, so forth.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So,
I
a
didn't-
summary report.
Wait, this was
to-
done in 10 minutes, okay? I didn't think.
A summary, well, a
I
summary
gotta stop for a second
report
because
to
this is too deep.
include
Watch this, last night,
a to-
I'm gonna take you off track. Last
to-
night, I played a game with my computer.
Okay.
I asked it a question.
AI type,
Yeah,
okay.
I asked it a question.
Yeah.
I said, man has never made a quantum leap in thinking. It has
No,
always
man.
taken a step-by-step approach
Yeah.
when we gain, through invention or anything else.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true.
Came back, yes. Okay, and I kept going, having a philosophical argument with my computer, saying, well, I wanted to see where it's going to
Play
go.
chess against the computer?
Well, this is after about an hour and a half of saying, you're wrong, try this, the conclusion was 2. 1, Elon Musk is absolutely right that if you follow a linear logic, then in time, computers will outpace man and man is in deep caca. Okay? That's his logic. I came back with, no, because you're being programmed by linear thinkers, therefore man will always be necessary because of strategic ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And they came back saying, you're right. And I said, yeah, but you only said you're right because... Then my wife came in and said, "It's
Get out of here."
What? It's 2:00 in the
Right.
morning." I
Go
said,
to
"But I'm
bed."
having a beautiful argument right here. One that I can win at any time."
Yeah.
You don't do
I
that, do
would,
you? You don't do that. do you?
I don't sleep as it is, but I wouldn't sleep anything if I. Okay, so to go back here, to include. Let me just put in totalization. I don't know what the proper word is.
We'll look in the dictionary.
A complete total or total all or something. The total cost, a total cost of all articles.
I like the word aggregate.
Aggregate,
Yep.
an aggregate cost of all, let's call them financial articles, financial articles. Articles.
Including financial
We've got
impact.
an estimated total cost.
Yep.
So we want an estimated aggregate. No, shall include an estimate of aggregate, is that better?
Yeah, let's, yeah.
An estimate of aggregate articles.
Expenditures. That's what it is.
Expenditures.
Yeah.
Aggregate expenditures, including any associated debt service.
Yep.
Shall include an estimate of the aggregated cost of all of expenditure. Got too many sort of words.
That's okay. You're don't wordsmith as we're conceptualizing.
Yeah. A summary report to include the estimate of all of financial aggregate of aggregate expenditures. Anyway, that's the plan, right?
Now keep
We're
going.
going to get a total number. When we get into this associated debt service, what are we talking about there? We're talking about, again, another total? Or are we looking for, you're going to have this coming out of free cash, this coming out of...
Nah, we want totals.
Well, not to, but where we don't have pay. This is coming out of a revolving fund, this is coming out of, no.
No, nobody's,
So this is, but we're just looking for a number.
right. Linda's interested in that.
So,
I'm not.
so, so
It's aggregated numbers.
financial, so it's, we're gonna give one number.
Our debt is
Is
90
it-
million. There it is.
If you'd have this sum, so an aggregate, 90 million.
Right.
And the total debt service associated, 40 million?
Yep.
Just those two
Yeah,
numbers?
That's right.
Okay, so,
So keep going, because the next part is where it really digs in.
okay. Now, number 3, so those are just gonna be two numbers, two summary totals.
Just summary numbers, yeah.
The estimate of impact on individual taxpayers. Okay, now this gets, now, you know, we did put into the warrant that there's so much, there's a table in there that talks about how much impact
On the 300,000.
expenditure will be, you're right,
Right, but it doesn't include everything. That's the problem.
okay.
It doesn't include debt. It's like this. What we want to get to is, let's look at the school budget just for a second. It costs us, the school budget is $40 million. What's important is, it costs us $32,000 per student. That's the only important part of the whole budget. I don't care what the teachers make. I don't care, as a resident, I'm talking. I don't care that the roof needs replacement. All I care is, if I break down all the costs, it's costing us that much per student. That's an important number.
And is that
It doesn't
number-
mean it's good or bad.
Yeah.
It's a number.
Knowledgeable.
Right.
Is it a number that is regularly made available
Yeah.
somewhere?
Yeah, when you ask. Yeah.
Who? Superintendent?
Superintendent,
Or the
yep.
finance committee?
Superintendent. The finance committee knows too. The finance committee gets very upset with those numbers.
And this number never appears anywhere?
Can't say I've seen it. It may. But I'm using that as an example.
What is the Commonwealth average, do we know?
Yeah, we are right in the middle. I looked it up once, because I thought it was high. It's right in the middle.
So it
We're on the
ranges
higher
from
end on the Cape.
25 to 50 or something?
We're on the higher end of the Cape. But statewide,
Statewide.
right.
So, but it's just for curious, is it like 10 to 60 or is it 25 to 45? Or?
It's 25 to 35. They don't vary that much.
No, I meant from top to bottom.
Yeah, we're about, let's see, if I say 50, no, there's 13 on the Cape. I would say we're from the top, we're about 9.
Well, that's in the middle.
Yeah. But it's not, that's why I say it's not good or bad. But here's where it makes a difference. I need a new school. Or I need to rebuild this school. Well, what's the cost? Well, the cost is going to be $40 million. If I have to vote on $40 million, I don't know what that means. But if I break it down, that $40 million is going to take it to per student from 33 to 38, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Okay, that's...
Okay. So, but for the
You don't like
purpose-
that number, do you? That's
No.
why, you know what I said?
Yeah.
I think it's better if we pass a law saying that if you don't want your child to go to school, we'll give you $30,000 a year that you put in a bank or whatever you want to invest it. And at the end of high school, they get all that money, which is close to about $800,000. And they can learn on their own. Well, it's a way of thinking, for God's sake. It doesn't mean it's the right way to think.
Okay.
How many kids would
So-
like to leave high school and have $800,000? Do you realize that's 3 years of vacation?
Okay, I just want to try to get this
We're there.
wrapped up.
We're there.
But just for clarification purposes, the estimate on individual taxpayers.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute, where were we?
We were on 3.
We're on 3.
Yep.
Estimated impact on individual taxpayers, including the average residential tax bill. Oh, that's right, we're on 3. What are we talking about? The total expenditures or the associated debt service or all of the
That's
above?
the aggregate. This is what it means to you.
Okay.
Now, as a financial person, I can interpret that any way I want. Understand? I can show you whatever I want to show you.
Yeah, I've lost it, but maybe it's
Go ahead.
time I stopped. But
My example got to you, didn't
the
it?
estimated total cost of such expenditures, including any debt service, this now is one number, right? Just
Yep.
the total cost.
can be,
$40
yes.
million.
Yes. It can be, yes.
Then an estimate of the impact on individual taxpayer. Is that one number?
Yeah. Well, no, that's on a $400,000 house, this is what it means. Now, you calculate what your house value is and calculate what it would be for you.
So I would assume that if I'm a $800,000 house,
double
it's
it.
twice as much.
Right. And some towns have a
but-
calculator.
So, okay, so number 3, what is that? I think we need the estimate of the impact on individual taxpayers, including the average residential tax bill. Is that not the one and the same? The average residential tax bill estimate on individual taxpayers, you're looking at one number. Let's say
I defined it for a reason. I don't know if it makes sense. I said if I'm the financial person, I can say, well, our budget this year is going to represent to the average taxpayer $1,000. And I leave it at that. I've fulfilled number one. To go to number two, now it's going to be, oh, on this level house, it's going to be. It defines it more specifically. It takes away the wiggle language, is the way I can say it best. That was the thinking anyhow.
An estimate of the impact on an individual taxpayer, including the average residential tax bill.
We can
We're talking
combine
about
them.
two numbers here.
Could be. See, that's where, it depends on where you're looking at it from. The finance person can
It
interpret
would
it.
seem to me, if you're saying an estimate to include, it's not two, it's one.
One, yeah, well, then it can be demonstrated any way they want.
How about just an estimate on the individual taxpayer?
That's fine, we can do that.
Which is the better,
It doesn't matter because it's,
the residential
It'll
tax
be-
bill or individual taxpayer?
residential tax bill is better.
The individual tax bill is better?
Yes, because it's
Okay,
more,
well
it's
then
narrow.
let's use that one.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh,
An estimate,
I'm easy.
estimate of the impact on, will strike individual taxpayers including, and just say an estimate of the impact on the average residential tax
Right.
bill. However they want to present that.
That's right, that's up to them.
And a general description of near and long-term fiscal implications. This is, again,
This is what,
too broad, don't you
yeah,
think?
but this, it may be, here's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, what do we?
This is the projection. This says you have to project out. It doesn't give you years, or it just says part of this budget, you just can't do it for this year. You need to also tell me what it's gonna be in future years, based on what you have.
What, the impact on the tax bill?
Yes. So, your debt in 10 years is gonna be X amount, and this is what you would be paying in 10 years.
Because of what? This amount of money that we're spending this year is carried forward 10 years?
Because our debt service says we're gonna borrow $100 million. We don't borrow it in 1 year. We borrow 10, 15, and so it's spread out. And so, in order for you to see what are you gonna be paying, what is Paul paying on his taxes in 4 years, based on all the debt that we have? You have no idea of knowing. This says, oh, Paul, here's an indication. In 4 years, you know, you're $2,000 a month, every 3 months?
But isn't that depend on, it's too
Estimated.
too open to such variances that is no practical number you could say. Who's to say what the budget's going to be? I'm not talking about
Oh, it's
what
easy.
we know in terms
Oh,
of
it's easy.
debt.
It's easy. It is you're a financial person, for God's sake. The way you project out is you go backwards and you project forwards. Very simple thing to do. You know what your good budget is going to
If
be.
let's say we went from 35 million 5 years ago to just for 40 million this year, okay. Now, are we therefore saying that in 5 years we'll be at 45 million?
Depends on what you
generally?
were You can't use a single year. You have to use an aggregate of, say, 10 years. So you build your curve over 10 years. And that pretty well tells you, and you keep doing it every year that you add on, it tells you what your curve is going to be.
And where does it take into play, let's say, the arrival of the sewer plant?
The sewer plan is in there because we've already projected out.
We don't have it in the capital plan.
No, you don't. But you know the numbers are anywhere from 140 to 300 million.
Well, I've heard, but other people say $500 million.
Oh man, that's only because people aren't saying no. I'm one of those people downstairs that's going to say no.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's inflation.
But
too.
see,
I don't know.
Here's what we're trying
But my point being that I don't know how.
watch.
I don't know what number. I don't know how they would calculate that number.
Well, you know what? There's an old process. I'm going to let you laugh. It's not my problem. You're the finance person. You figure it out. You got all the numbers in front of you, don't you? You and I can't figure that out. We don't have
But
to,
we're asking somebody to present this.
we're asking someone to present it, and they're going to go back and they're gonna say, well, this is what I can do based on past history, based on everything I know, this is the projection of where we're going. It doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. That's why it has to be.
So do we not maybe need to make a statement in here that it's
Yeah, that's,
basically somebody's best guess?
I think we did, or at least,
A general description, to me, seems to not give anybody any flexibility.
that's why I had in here, the town shall provide in connection with each annual and special town meeting, a non-binding financial
Yeah,
and
but
taxpayer.
non-binding is, to me, that's, non-binding is, from a legal standpoint, is relieving you of some requirement.
Well,
And I don't know of any,
we're trying to get rid of the ambiguity of finance, of not knowing.
but non-binding.
We can use whatever word you,
I think it's better to say unambiguous.
Well, that, I'm okay with that too.
Well, I mean, that's
Because
not a
we're-
good word
watch.
when you're talking
We're
about.
leaving it to, we're in the realm of numbers and projections, which occur every day. I mean, this is not, watch this. Insurance companies project out 30 years. They know how long you're gonna live. They're gonna know when you're gonna die. How do they do it? They know better than I do my date of death. It's called
Yeah.
actuary tables. So, if you can figure that out with numbers, why can't you figure out, why can't our
Okay,
finance?
But let's take this under consideration, that people in the actuary business are using numbers that have been used historically. And today, we've got people who, I remember when I left, I used to run several pension funds in my life, and all is based on somebody dying at 82, because that's what
That was
I
the
am.
standard.
No, that's what people have always
Can you
believed.
finish this first?
Now, I'm reading, even before I left work, as I was leaving, I'm reading this thing saying, you know, with the advances we're making in medical research and the development of replacement organs and so forth, that a child born in this year, which was 2015 when I retired, has like a 70% chance of living to 120 through replacement of hearts and kidneys and everything else.
Now it's jumped to 150.
Okay, so the guy that's gonna die at 82,
Is
and
pissed
therefore will end his pension, isn't gonna die at 82, they're gonna go to 120. So now, instead of retiring at 70, are we gonna change the retirement date to 95? Or are we gonna stick at 70 and think somehow what we set aside to pay for the guy to live from 65 to 82 is really from 62 to 125?
No, it's called increasing the policies for these guys here to make up for the losses over here.
Well, it's,
Shame on you.
I agree, but even I can't see that.
Oh, there's walls.
But
coming.
it's the actuaries, it's the insurance tables.
Right. But we have the same thing in government. We have the same thing in business. How are you making decisions? You're projecting the past. You're projecting what you did in the past.
Yeah.
To see, how is a finance person sitting there? She can look at the past and say, this is what.
But let's say in the pension area, if my actuary came in and said to me, I've recalculated this and we're not 100% funded, we're 32% funded. Why are we 32%? Well, because the load that's coming when people live 30 more years than we've projected.
But see that number right there? Here's what it tells me. Lou, you're working here. It's time to start looking for another job. But that's what what it tells you.
It does.
And that's what.
Yeah, I don't want to be sitting here holding the bag
Now watch
or
this.
going to the
So you're a little.
chairman of the school committee or something and say, you guys have got to up your contributions because I've got to pay benefits.
So now you've got an 85-year-old lady living in Harwich who's on a fixed income and is trying to make decisions. She doesn't know what's going to happen in 5 years right now. So she can't plan. I want to give her the information so she can plan, because maybe she had to sell her house right now and move to Florida. Instead of sell your house for $800,000 and go buy one for $300,000, because you're going to live longer. Those are the kind of decisions that people can't make today, because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so if we don't start giving that information,
Well, yeah, I agree, but my only question
how to
is,
get it done?
right, how do we find that information to give to somebody? Because I almost think that right now, no actuary who's worth anything wants to come in and tell that story. So it's easier to go with the numbers.
Yeah,
that
that's
the
right. But that's why we're forcing them to tell that story. And we should ask Waystack Thursday night, because I've heard him say our debt is 140 million. So we should ask him, just so that we have.
I'm sorry, the sewer was 140? No,
I think
it
our
was
total
140.
debt. I think our total debt.
Oh, total.
Yeah,
Over
already
presently,
committed.
you mean?
Already committed
Yeah.
right now. So if it's 140 right now, how much? Me looking at it as a business guy says, well, some of that debt's going to fall off depending on the term. I don't know how much is old, how much is new. So I have to look at that. Then I have to also analyze new debt. But I can do that.
Okay. But to get back to
How do I get that in writing?
Right, exactly.
Well,
Right.
that's the task for next meeting. You go home and you think about it
I'm
and you
gonna
put
go
it
home
together.
and think about it, because
It's,
that's not an
but here's what
easy
no,
task.
but here's the good
This is,
thing.
gets the big bucks.
Here's the biggest thing that we've done. We've come, I think, to the same conclusion that this information would be very helpful to people.
Okay.
I might even be able to charge people to give this information. I know if I don't, the town will.
Let me just say.
It's
in the
quarter
end-
up.
Oh, I wanted to try to be out of here by 3 o'clock.
It's 10 minutes to 3.
Yeah. And one thing we didn't do was to just capture, I just wanted to quickly go through these other provisions in here that I
Okay,
had
go quick.
identified.
Quick.
To make sure there's nothing else in here that's conflicting or concerning. I think we should both, or at least I'll try to make a stab
Fair enough.
at,
Condensing
well, not
Making
condensing,
sense.
but just capturing this
the essence.
deal here, which I might have to call on somebody of higher knowledge than I. But anyway, what I
Well,
wanted.
thank you.
Just- I'm not sure.
Watch this.
Do they exist?
Watch,
No.
watch. Here I am sitting in front of you. Thank you.
Okay, here's the other provisions in here that very quickly.
Which ones?
We're down to 9.2.6. 933, Finance Committee shall conduct one or more public hearings on the proposed budget after it's been submitted by the selectmen, and by March 31st, I'm talking about C20, page C25.
Yep, got it.
9.3.3. So this is asking the Finance Committee, and here is where I had circled, shall submit its written recommendations on the budget and on all articles to appear in the warrant. So the question about their ability to
Yep.
vary,
Did we decide all articles, or did we say financial articles? I don't remember.
well,
what
you mean in this read, Oh.
when they were here, when the finance.
they seem to be talking about financial and requesting that they should feel like they wanted to test it, that they were commenting. There was feeling here that they should comment only on financial articles. And my concern was that I recall reading that thing. It said they could do it, and even I think the Finance Committee stated now, we're reporting, because that's when I asked the question, why did they dump me 5-0 on an article that didn't, it was my, one of my petitions.
Why are they who
Commenting on it.
on
Historical preservation.
Right, they should.
Right. They voted 5-0.
I know.
Yeah. Fortunately, Jeff Handler made a positive motion for me to get it before the body in an affirmative step. But I said to Mark Kelleher one day, I said, Mark, why did you guys vote 7-0 or whatever it was against that article? Which article was that? I said, what about this? I don't even remember taking that up. But I mean, it makes me think that some of these things are going through, and
It's a
if he
financial-
votes against it, I'll vote against it.
It's a financial committee. It's really, my perspective is, they shouldn't be voting on anything. They shouldn't be giving, because they don't vote.
Well, then you got to change that.
Yeah, well, we do. I think we have to really, I think we did agree to that.
I don't know that we did.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we need.
I can go back to the meeting.
We got to go back to what the finance committee had recommended
Right.
that night. But I do think that's an issue.
Okay.
And then let me see, 934, select board shall present the budget to town meeting.
It's,
I mean, I guess, well, I mean, there's not a problem there, right?
not a major problem. But is it the select, whose budget is it? Who put together the budget? So,
Everything was presented back here to the select board.
okay, so it's their budget too.
I think that's
All
okay.
right.
And I had the idea of include additional language as to what the budget shall include in the way of detail. Oh, I had suggested this might be, I double starred this as well as 925. That this could include what we were just talking about. Included here, shall adopt the budget, 3.4. Include the additional language here.
No. Because
No.
this
You-
says, select board shall present the budget to town meeting. We want this way.
Before.
Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah. And then, and that's it. That's the last financial,
I think in the next 20 minutes, we could wrap this up. If we have another meeting and think about it.
you mean our committee? Oh, I think we just filed a report,
Yeah, I
right?
agree. I think we have one more meeting and we're done.
So I'll try to.
I'll do the same.
not rewrite, but to try to condense all this into
Watch
a
this.
report.
There's no proprietary. This is called brain dump. Get it out. Anything that's in there, dump it out.
Okay.
I can think differently when I'm writing than I can when I'm talking, okay? Does that help?
Okay.
Just get
It
it.
does.
Yeah, get it out.
Is this mine here, or is this yours? Where'd this come from?
They're yours now. That's
Oh,
yours. That's yours.
this came out of my book.
Yep.
Okay. Any other business before this committee?
So, how do you, yeah, we're done. And we vote. Oh, we were being recorded?